Welcome back to some professional Starcraft 2 from Nation Wars 2019, put on by O Gaming TV. We have South Korea up against the United States of America. Let me introduce you deep into this match. We have the second best player on the team, the second most accomplished, and the second favorite to win this match. It's Sue. And in the bottom left corner, representing the United States of America, the only American player to win a WCS championship, let alone 3 of them. The first player, foreign player, to win in Korea since the early 2000s. It is Neeb. What? Playing Protoss, in case that wasn't implied. And we're on World of Sleepers. A map that many Protoss players not a huge fan of for many reasons. Partially because getting the rich Vespene base is almost free for Zerg, but difficult for Protoss. There's a lot of counterattack options when it comes to mineral walls. It's just a whole lot of awkward playstyles become more likely and more viable for Zerg and become more difficult for Protoss. It is now, we're deep into a Team League match, which means neither is he... Neeb, the mind games. So here's what's happening. Neeb was intentionally holding off on his warp gate to make it look like a Stargate play, but it's not a Stargate play. It's a Twilight Council, but players of this caliber are watching for that cyber core to see when it starts building warp gate. It starts lighting up a little bit. So Sue right now is probably pretty convinced this is going to be a Stargate, but Neeb, on the other hand, going for the Twilight, can blindside him, especially if he's building spores, things like that. Will he go back to his basics, which are adept glaives? Neeb, when he switched from Terran, you might be like, wait, Neeb was a Terran? Well, he didn't do very well if you didn't know he was a Terran. But in Legacy of the Void, he switched to Protoss and really took to the Adept. He was a big fan of Adept gameplay, and still is. But the days of throwing mad shade have partially been put behind us. There's still a lot of options, but Adepts are less of a staple option in the early game. And right now, Neeb's going to shade in his first 2. Doing some slick micro thus far. Gonna find his way out with both Adepts. One of them badly bruised, the other was shield stripped. And he's going for a quick DT drop. Now the question remains, what will he do with it? He knows that Sue's already building a Spore. Sue expects Stargate. Sue actually a little greedy, not sending that Overlord all the way into the main, but instead just chilling at the natural, relying on that to get information. Now, I feel like Neeb is well known, for better or for worse, for being a pretty straight-up macro player. Like, he rarely does a massive all-in or something like that. So even here, with him going for a 4-gate DT drop rush, I wouldn't be surprised if he just goes straight for the Archons with the Dark Templar and decides to start dropping with that. A little bit less gas heavy, and the Dark Templar can be used for early defense as well. Those Zerglings going to surround on these Adepts. Neeb's going to warp in. 4 DTs. Now that the Zerglings are on the other side of the map, though, wait, does Sue spot this? Does he see the shimmer? Oh, he sees him. He knows. Oh, yeah, he knows. And Neeb going to pick up. He had to give it a shot. Oh, wait. The DTs themselves are quite dangerous units, and Archons take time. So he's trying to find any opportunity. He might be overstaying his welcome a bit here. But of course, if he can pick them all up... Oh no, loses a DT! Meanwhile... Oh, the Overlord was hit by the Stalker while the Observer passed by. Neeb? Honestly, a little greedy there. Trying to go for DT damage when he kind of fed information about a Stargate. And running in the DTs from pretty far away as well. I think you did miss an opportunity to go for the early Archon drop, but name a more iconic combo than 2 Archons in a Warp Prism in early game PvZ. It's not as popular as it was because there was a slight nerf to the Prism. It has a little bit less pickup range. And of course, Zerg players have gotten a lot more used to dealing with it as well, just splitting units. He shouldn't be losing the Archons. The maneuverability of this Prism is pretty unmatched, especially with no lair tech really kicking in yet. There's no Hydra Den, there's no Spire. There's nothing that's going to be a real and present danger to the Prism. He just has to minimize damage. Overseer taken out, and Neeb is now going into his wheelhouse. We're going to have 8 gates. We're going to have +1 charge. He's pumping out Immortals. He has pretty successfully limited Sue to just having these early game tech units. He forced all the roaches out. And the thing is, Sue can't even be comfortable. He's not like, well, I have roaches, so he can't attack. You don't know. Maybe Neeb just builds a whole bunch of charge lots and comes across the map. It's a real danger, and one that Sue's preparing for. There's a Baneling Nest on the way, +1 melee. He's only got 60 drones, which is relatively low, especially considering Neeb has 53 probes right now with a slightly delayed third. Oh, a little sloppy here. And this is going to give Sue a little bit of breathing room. Neeb is preemptively getting cannons in his mineral line, which means he's a little scared of mutas. Whenever you don't open Stargate, mutas become much more of a threat. Well, Prism didn't bring the Archons with it. But with that scout, Sue now has all the relevant information. So, what does he do with it? Infestation pit, more drones, 4th base, gonna be saturated. A few more Ravagers in the mix. Force field is a dangerous option, and Corrosive Bile can break it. So that means Sue is pretty convinced that Neeb is not gonna be posing a real danger for a while, but he's not getting super greedy either. 70 drones-ish is not a booming economy, but it's a very strong. If he was really like, Neeb can't attack me, he could go to like 85 and 6 bases or so. But he doesn't see everything we see. He doesn't see that Neeb is constantly working his way up in the tech tree. He doesn't know how many units are being warped in each round, so... The timer on Storm is going to be super important. Storm begin. The Hive is spotted, by the way. The only gas geyser not taken so far is the one in the corner. Now remember, he has a rich Vespine geyser. So this geyser mines gas twice as fast, but at the same time, it mines out. It starts with the same amount as other gas geysers. That's what I mean. And that means it mines out pretty quick. This base will be more of a placeholder soon enough. It'll be mineral only soon enough. Sue's breaking through. And now for the next toughest part for Neeb, taking a 4th Nexus. Spire's on the way. Hive is done. 16 more Banelings looking to break Neeb. Sue is ready to swing the hammer here before he goes for Broodlords. Broodlords, while they got a nerf to their effective range, are still a great option. Archons have about as much range as they have radius, so they're not a great long-range option. This base, I don't know, is Neeb going to try to hold it? That's a whole lot of Banelings, but great force fields! The shield of Neeb! He holds for now. Archons boxing out. Beautiful storms. The Archon, the splash damage. Incidentally, the Nexus dies. Not the end of the world. But Neeb holding the line. I would say that was a victory for Neeb. Despite losing the 4th base, the cost efficiency. He maintains, he's lost 1 Archon, a couple sentries, but overall, Neeb knows how to, he knows his way around the Immortal Archon Templar. He really does. He's been using this unit composition for years. It maintains its strength. There's a Ling drop potential. A DT trying to get in, do some damage. A DT easily going to be able to kill a Queen. A Baneling drop. These are +2 Banes, I do believe, which means they one-shot probes. That is super dangerous. Charge Lot's moving in. How many probes does Neeb have? 67. He can't afford major losses. The Charge Lot's going to find kills. 6 Broodlords in the mail. But Neeb is everywhere with his Prism. Does he have enough for a warp in? He's going to survive. The Broodlords are spotted. Neeb's still holding in the center of the map. The Baneling drop. It appears it just went down. A Zergling somehow made it in here. Another Warp Prism with another set of Charge Lots, and this is quite an army out of Neeb. The Broodlords are going to help. There aren't an overwhelming number. There's a solid number. The Storms could actually be a threat. Beautiful Storms and Force Fields as well. Neeb also has the Prism. He's going to drop out, and another round going to be coming in. How far does Sue want to pursue? Even a DT getting in on the mix here. Charge Lot's going for the base. Neeb making another move in the same location. The Broodlords are on their own, but too much of a risk for Neeb to engage. He's trying to buy time for his Stargates to finish in order to get Void Rays and then Tempests. Will he actually go for the Void Ray army? Already starting +1 air weapons. The Warp Prism, a danger. Just anchoring units at home. He really needs to keep Sue at home right now. He's got to get his Stargate, well, his Stargates online and producing, because he needs to have a direct counter to the Broodlords. You can't just run around in circles all day and hope he never attacks you. A Baneling drop. So far at the edge of the minimap, I almost missed it. Neeb not reacting. At the last second, he's going to roll the Banelings through. A real danger. Oh my god, 16 probes, 17 probes. Charge Lots in the main, find a few drones. 53 probes to 72 drones. A Dark Templar making its way into the 4th base. There is an Overseer here, but Neeb continually putting on the pressure while trying desperately to stabilize back at home. Neeb's still struggling. He's been spending all this time just trying not to let the Broodlords get across the map. He's succeeded thus far, but that time is about to run out. Some more Charge Lots being sent out. I think the Banelings might have... Well, this is a little awkward. The Legacy of the Void trailer. Is there another Prism? There is no Prism now, as Neeb works his way up to the Stargate Heavy Death Ball here. Stargate Command in the main. Fleet Beacon, I believe, is done. +1 air weapon, still pretty far out. Neeb keeps having to replace these probes. Both sides have lost 15 to 20 workers. A single Charge Lot could still... Anything that draws Sue attention. Sue didn't attack with the Broods. He's coming back 6. That seems a little bit like overkill. But the Broodlords deal with that one Zealot, alright? It was handled. Another Charge Lot counterattack. Neeb, he can't really afford to just lose huge groups of Charge Lots here, though. That's maybe not where that Dark Templar wanted to go. What is happening? I was like, that's an Overseer, right? That's not a Super Cloak DT or something. There's 5 Infestors on the way. It feels like Sue is comfortable as long as he maintains his bases. Dark Templar finds an opportunity. Sue continues taking damage to these run-bys. Dark Templar Zealots. You'd think he would have stabilized by now, but he doesn't have lurkers to just kind of leave and forget at these bases. Couple Void Rays in there. Wait, did Neeb make a second Fleet Beacon? Wait, what? What happened to the first Fleet Beacon? I swear he was making a Fleet Beacon. I'm not a crazy person, right? Don't answer that. So Neeb didn't have a Fleet Beacon, which seems like a pretty major oversight. Roaches and Ravagers and Banelings still pursue on the ground. He's maintaining a solid ground presence despite really focusing on that air. Everybody's calm down. And now we're getting into the supreme late game. Neither player feels comfortable enough to do a full-fledged attack. Sue is already adding on the spores. He's only at 62 drones, which, now that you've built the army, you want to maintain enough army supply that you don't get overrun. Neeb is starting to try to figure out creative ways to trade his immortals, as immortals are becoming less and less useful. Not a great counter to broodlords, zerglings, not even really to infestors. Still an overseer. There's no nidus with which to maybe do a backstab or something, right? A lot of lings and banes here, but that's... He's got 10 void rays, which is a super awkward scenario. Really depends on the fungals here. There's no base anti-air besides fungal. Corruptors, 9 corruptors will melt against void rays, even with a +2 attack. You charge up those void rays and good luck. 2 immortals, hard counter to a hatchery, fun fact. That hatchery, obliterate. We'll have to see if they make it any further. The War Prism gun down. He's not going to waste time or money on a recall. 4 more immortals. We'll have to see if these trades stack up. If 2 immortals are a hard counter to a hatchery, 4 immortals, just unfair. The broodlords will take him out. This will slow Sue down, but does it matter much in the grand scheme of things? Probably not. As Neeb is now... Our lines have been drawn in the sand of World of Sleepers. There's a... Well, Neeb is going for the Fist of Neeb. The Sky Toss army. Slowly the probe count is dipping. Not that he's going to mind much. I think he may have just thrown them away. At this point, 50 to 60 workers is about the most you can stomach. You really need to have an army supply capable of dealing with your opponents. Both sides are banking minerals and gas. No clear disparity there. I guess 2 is a little more, but it's not a huge difference at all. Dark Templar still looking for an opportunity. They're going to be looking for a while. The Spine Crawlers took some damage off a creep. A beautiful tag from that Oracle. Gonna give a great revelation on all these key units as the Tempest begin to chip away. Oh my god! Sue did the move! He did the move! He attacked his own creep tumor to activate the broodlings to give them more range. It's like attacking your own units with a carrier to get the interceptors launched. Now we see Zerg players getting in on the action. And now we see them struggle, jockey for position. Infestors looking for an opportunity. Good luck. Is there neural parasite? Yes. Very important. Picking up some of those Archons, Tempest, Carriers. Honestly, these are all amazing units. You can just neural parasite anything. Just pick anything. Whatever you can hit, rapid fire it. Every single one of those Protoss units would be a great choice. There's not a single, there's no fat in this guy. Oh my god! The Archons murdering the probes! For the greater good. But still hard to watch. Because Neeb's army, his fist must be clenched even more strongly. A mothership is on the way. Those probes died, so a mothership could be built. Shadow Shrine. The Changeling army is now getting involved. There's, like, at what point do you start storming Changelings? Archon drop in the back. Looking like... You gotta be careful now, like, because every unit you warp in over the size of the Warp Prism... Now we're in a numbers game, where I actually have to do math, and Neeb was probably part of the American public education system, but despite that, still quite a mathematician in these scenarios. Oh, you gotta actually kill the Overseer. Well, Corruptors can't kill. Okay, well, that's enough Overseers. 12 drones go down. I'm not sure how broken up Sue is gonna be because of that. As we slowly trim out all parts of the composition that aren't part of the late game. Continuing forward. Oh my god, he's got 22 infestors. Will he research Microbial Shroud? This is actually not a terrible scenario. Microbial Shroud reducing the air-to-ground damage underneath. I mean, that's a lot of Tempest and Void Rays. Microbial Shroud might be a real option here, even though considered to be less than a joke by much of the Zerg community. 5 more Stargates. Just more cannons. Neeb is hunkering down. I mean, why not get it at this point? Come on, just research it. It's like, then I might use it, and it'll be bad. So no. +3, +1 in the air, +2 shields, +3 shields. Whenever, like, if you see +3 shields anywhere involved in a game, that's, you want the most definition of a late game that isn't Bronze League Heroes where there's literally no other upgrades. +3 shields. That costs like almost as much as a mothership to research that. I think it's like 300. Might be 350. The rest of the ground army for Sue looking for an opportunity. Losing workers is, as long as there's enough workers to mine gas and a little bit of minerals now. As the banks grow. The mothership! Oh, he's gonna recall on top! The total recall! Or mass recall. We're calling it total recall. Because that's way more fun. He saves the base with it. Blink DTs might be a counter to infestors. Or they might just be for Archons. At this point, technically, DT Archons are more cheap in gas. They're only 250 gas compared to HT Archons, which are 300. Maybe you can have some mixed Archons, but a lot of Protoss frown on that. This is happening. This is a thing that is happening. Meanwhile, Sue's actually pushing. Wait a second. Oh my god, it was played before the patch. Okay, this might be the very last time you see infested Terrans in a professional match. How did I not notice? It was played before the great game-ending patch of 2019. Infested Terrans still exist and Broodlord's still super good. So this is a classical Infestor Broodlord. I'm a genius. Well, this explains some of it. That explains why he didn't research Microbial Shroud. Because it does not exist. Oh, the DTs blink onto Spine Crawlers. Will easily kill them. So, Infestor Broodlord still alive and very well here. What am I want? Wait, can you Neural Parasite morphing Archons? What happens when they finish? Wait, is it gonna be permanently his Archon? No. Okay. Wouldn't that be cool? Like, you grew up, all you knew was Zerg, and now you turn on us? Like, it's just my instinct, bro. Neeb is at 1,000 gas. Well, Sue doesn't have much more than that. The Tempests are still finding plenty of shots. The Corruptors looking for a Greater Spire, really whatever they can get. Oh, Disruptors! We're going, like, we're at the Hogwarts School of Protoss spellcasting now, where every ability is in play. Storm, Feedback, Revelation, Purification Nova, Prismatic Alignment, Time Warp, Total Recall. Good luck, land. Guardian Shield, Force Field. Are there any sentries in there? There's got to be one, right? Just the one. You know how cost-effective a Guardian Shield is on an army this expensive? Wow. Like, that has to be the most cost-effective unit in this entire army composition is actually the sentry. The infestors are tagged. Neeb gonna start chipping. We're trying to... Oh, does he find anything? Oh. He's gonna kill spore crawlers with disruptors as we try to work out which units will actually do anything. One Archon caught and killed. Neeb does have this base mining. 45 versus 36 workers. The cannons will eventually clear out this expansion, or the Dark Templar, whoever gets to it first. The armies, I feel like the unit tab is more useful than the production tab right now. We've slowly whittled our way down into the strongest possible late-game armies, which means the Roaches, Ravagers, and on the flip side, DTs and Zealots have been traded out bit by bit by bit. Oh. A beautiful tag. He neural parasites the Oracle, but it actually goes out of range at that last second. Probes are being transferred to their eventual graves, which seems like a really roundabout way to do it, Neeb. Sue has a slightly advanced gas bank, but 1,000 gas or two. These armies are worth 7,600 and 9,400 gas, respectively, with Sue's being 1,800 more. So they're not even close to being able to replace them if they happen to all be murdered. Because something World War I and World War II will be fought with all these fancy guns, but after the great late game, it will be fought with Zerglings and Zealots, or whatever. You get where I was going. You got the idea with that analogy. Anyways, wait, what? So Neeb is just not even gonna bother. Infested Terran to use. This base is gone. DT's going to work. The ground armies are nearly non-existent besides these Archons. They're battling each other. It's almost like two different games happening. You can't recall Zerg units. He's got to fly back across the map while Neeb works through this base that long ceased being useful, rather. The DTs are going for the tech. The ground army going to deal with this because there's not much it can do against the Death Ball. Will there be a recall? He recalls without a single hit. No chance of neural parasite. The Archons, on the other hand, well, that's one way. He turns them against each other. Nothing counters Archons quite like Archons. It looks like the DTs were cleaned up, but almost killed the Hive. The Spine's getting in on the action. One Archon actually survives. Oh my god, still dangerous. Ah! No. Come on back here, boy. Come on back here. You ain't getting away from us. Meanwhile, Dark Templar clearing up the spores. Sue is almost at as many drones as he started with. Neeb really investing in these DTs and mostly paying off so far. Meanwhile, the fight kind of just starts. Parasitic Bomb. Wait, another recall. That has to be to the mothership. He uses a total recall. Neeb at 140 supply, and only because he just made a few more. Wait, does he see? Does he see? Oh no! He can. Oh! Wait. Because he controlled both disruptors. But technically they were friendly. But the Broodlords will handle the rest. He tried to have him punch himself in the face, but Neeb has almost no gas here. There's still a lot of energy. The infestor count is not what it once was. It was 20, now it's 19. So, technically correct. More Void Rays on the way. Infested Terrans will get them as they come out of the Stargates. Why can't you warp them in? A Disruptor shows up to the party. Meanwhile, a whole bunch of ground units. Something Zealots and Zerglings. Is there a tag? The army! Infestors! There is detection. I think it might be from the cannons. Are there observers in here? There are no observers for Neeb. He has an oracle. This army is not tagged. So while it's burrowed, he has to be in detection radius. Meanwhile, the zealots are going to work. All Neeb has is minerals. He's going to work them for all he's got. The Stargate's being broken down. There's a couple more in the main base. The oracle's needed for revelation. Neither side has a comfortable bank. Zealots chopping through all the static defenses. More banelings on the way. Sue is making banelings at 30.5 minutes. Meanwhile, the remnants of the Skytoss army will move forward. Still a disruptor in the mix. +3, +3. Wait, no carapace upgrades for Sue. That's something to point out. This will be dealt with. The infestors are getting killed by cannons, but infested Terran's going to be, well, involved. We're playing a ring around the bases here. The zealots will chop through the last of the spine crawlers. He recalls out. Neeb escapes to the only base that has yet to be unmassacred. Sue has 2 drones. Sue has 0 drones. Sue has no drones. He's building 5 more. Thankfully, he has a bank. 0 drones doesn't seem like the number you want to be looking at, despite how important it is, but he yanks it in. Catch and release? No, catch and kill. But the carriers are neuroparasited. Neeb. How many Broodlords are left? There's 9 Broodlords, 12 Infestors. Still, the brunt of the army is in Corruptors. The Broodlords are very, very, very... Oh, get the Baneling Nest! Turn it! Slap it! The Baneling Nest to 8 HP. The Baneling Nest... Both sides are exhausting almost all of their banks. Oh, but the Void Rays! The Void Rays! The legacy of the Void! They come out. There are 42 Corruptors out here. And only 9 Void Rays. Neeb was banking him up in his main. We'll have to see. More Zealots. Remember, no Carapace upgrades, whereas these are +3 and then +3 shield Zealots. This is a little awkward. Assimilation. Who got assimilated? Resistance is futile, Void Rays. The Broodlord's looking for an opportunity. Neeb desperately keeping it together. Wait a second. We are in actually a building killing situation. How many Broodlords are left? There are only 6 Broodlords. Neeb is still mining. 33 workers to 0. Wait. 0 workers. He needs to build more drones. He's consuming his Greater Spire. There's a real danger he loses all his buildings here. The cost, he's peeing all over the base. Sue! I don't know how they do it in your country, but this is considered to be kind of a dick move. Oh, meanwhile, the Vipers! What are they gonna do? They're going to die! Neeb is killing all of the buildings. There's no drones. If he kills all the hatcheries, he can't go out on the map. There's only 500 minerals left. The Broodlords have to come home. The Infestors are on the chase. Is there any anti-air? Meanwhile, in the main, everything is melting. 2 drones are being built, but both of them, there's no hatcheries outside the main. Neeb! Oh, the Roach Warren, the drones, they come out, but they die. There's almost not enough. He can get the last hatches. The Broodlords are coming back. The Changelings are like, here, look at how many. No more hatches, but he neuroparasites the Archons. He still has larvae. He can build drones from larvae. He recalls in the most, what is happening? Wait, who's real? What is reality? The Archons are unleashed and will actually kill an Infestor. Sue has not rebuilt his base and is being revealed. That's actually a whole lot of cannons here. He's peeing on all of them. More gateways on the way. What is happening? I don't understand. Meanwhile, oh, he kills a bit. How many buildings are left? The larva's bleeding out. He needs to build the larva. Oh, no. Oh, no. Sue rebuilt his base. He got a drone out. He's going to rebuild it here. Oh, Neeb. There's only 1 extractor in this hatch. Neeb. How did it come to this, Sue? Look at the supply. But there's no money. He only has enough. He can't cancel this. He can cancel it and rebuild it. But then he won't have enough. He won't have enough to build another drone. If he has to cancel this even once, there will not be enough money left over when he rebuilds it to build another drone. A Blink DT into the main! Neeb is still alive, and he still has units. He has a handful of stalkers. Blink is only done for the DTs. This is it. That's the last building. Neeb can't know that he has no drones. Like, that's the thing. It's a poker game now. Sue has nothing left in his hand. There's not a single drone. There's barely enough money to build one drone, and then mine from the couple hundred minerals that are left. He's got to take it from the very beginning, and now Neeb, he has 50 workers. Why are you building probes, Neeb? This is not the time that you've got an economic lead. It's 50-0. But the corruptors are legitimately building killers here. He's going for the next eye. How many are there? 4 left. 3, 2, wait. 3, 2. Neeb is still mining off of 2 bases. He's evening it up. At some point, he can just straight up kill the Broodlord. This is madness. No, this is Neeb. He couldn't kill the death ball, but he can kill all the buildings. 1 drone is mining. That's it. There's enough stalkers now. Oh, wait, but they came from below. The thing is, they have so many shield upgrades, it's tough for them to kill each other. The infested Terrans, he needs to nab a probe! Oh, but wait, he's going for the throne. There's 1 drone mining. He can build a 2nd drone. The Broodlords are chilling. But it might be that the time for chilling has passed. Another Nexus. Neeb is down to 2. He's going for the corners. He's building a 3rd one here. When does Neeb decide he wants to go for the throne? He's going to repower his Twilight Council that's researching Stalker Blink. Neeb has 53 probes, which are not great parts of a fighting force. There's only 10 Stalkers, which means the Corruptors can still kill buildings pretty effectively. And he will. Oh, he's gonna find one of the last actual mining Nexi. Blink. Oh, the spray. Are there enough stalkers? He turns around, but guess what? There's nothing over here. Recoil's off cooldown. He's gonna build some High Templar. Because why not? Can't warp in storms like it's Wings of Liberty. "38 minutes, and Sue has made it all the way up to 4 workers. He's out of... Well, he had 1 he still only has 1 building. We're getting legitimately to the point where if Sue doesn't find a way, Neeb will have rebuilt his economy. He's nearly at the point where he can kill the Broodlord. Like, he gets 20 stalkers, he can probably get those broods. Another base, gonna be peed down. The caustic spray and pray. Neeb immediately just gonna rebuild it. It cost him 100 minerals each time, but caustic spray has quite a cooldown. It's about a minute. Another base spotted. Neeb has 53 workers. Neeb still on that comfortable economy. Actually splitting it. Would have been nice to get that Twilight Council before Blink was done. This Nexus not gonna make it. Blink. Sue pulls back. He's working on everything here. He's actually killing Corruptors. And none of these buildings will go down. 2 Archons protect the base. Neeb is almost even in supply. A Dark Templar taken out. Neeb is getting precious close. Sue now being punished for let his economy drop to nothing. Letting his economy, rather. However those words work. Oh, no. Disaster. And preemptively recalls, but is there detection? He has 4 observers, but did he spot any of this? The observers are looking for an opportunity. Neeb is now ahead in supply. as Sue's gonna have to rebuild a spawning pool. What are you gonna do, mine from here? There's 800 gas and 250 minerals. The map is dry. We're in kind of a Mad Max scenario right now for Sue. We gotta fight over what resources are left with the technology left over from back when we could build Broodlords. Get the probe! Build Protoss things! Might be a little late for that. Neeb has lived his base trading style. Rewarded. As Sue overcommitted. Oh no! The infestors are caught! 3 Broodlords aren't going to solve this, right? And while fungal, yeah, he has to blink away. The Corruptors, this is a sad shadow of what it once was. Neeb. Blink. Not on cooldown. Off cooldown, rather. The base being targeted. He breaks off. That's a heartbreaker. He's going to lose all the Corruptors anyways. Or most of them. Sue, it looks like Neeb has done it. Not yet, Jimmy. Sue will commit as he's taking another hatch and can move his Broodlords a little bit further. Still no spawning pool for Sue. Neeb is waiting for his final moment. The Broodlords, it's taken him 10 minutes to build up something to deal with them, but the storms on the infested Terrans, there was a Viper in the mix. The last building's being killed. This army's still struggling to deal with the Broods. He may just come in for the flank. It all comes down to this. This is the only building right here. Sue is not mining. The Corruptor's going with the caustic spray. Neeb reshielding with shield batteries. He's actually going to try to kill the Broodlords. The Broodlord count is at only 5. 4 infestors underneath. They're pretty much out of energy. Beautiful storms. The Black and Neeb gonna go all the way. GG. And Neeb takes it home for Team America. After 42 minutes. It looked weird for a second. 42 minutes. Neeb knocked him down to 0 drones. Sue thought the Broodlord Infestor Death Ball would have one last hurrah, but no. The American Neeb comes through. Cool, calm, collected, under pressure. Disregards the supply and acquires victory for his team. Hopefully you enjoyed the cast. Like and subscribe and ring the bell. That's the annoying thing that helps as well. And leave a comment. Are you glad infested Terrans no longer exist? Would Microbial Shroud have helped more? How did it get to that point? What did Sue do wrong? How did he play Sue poorly? What kind of supply? Okay, I'm done. But what did he need to do? Stop it. Thank you to O Gaming for releasing those replays. Make sure to check them out in description and all that, or if it's live in Twitch chat, learn how to Google. But Neeb wins the match. Thank you for watching. Good luck.